Hi guys, Lazerbolt here and welcome to another episode. Today we're going to hop in Microsoft Flight Simulator and take a little flight around Las Vegas in virtual reality. And while we're at it, let's see if we're able to control an aircraft using only the Oculus Quest 2 controllers. So I originally intended to use AirLink to connect my Quest 2 to my PC for flying Flight Simulator, but ever since my latest headset update I have been able to get AirLink to work. So today we're just going to use Virtual Desktop instead. The process is basically the same. But one of the really neat things about using VR with Flight Simulator is it's one of the only programs I've seen that allows you to jump in and out of VR on the fly. But in order to do this, we're going to have to set a button press. So go to the top of the screen and hit Options, and then go to General Options, and at the bottom, VR Mode. From here you want to make sure you set these two things. First, the Activate and Deactivate VR Mode button, and next, the Camera Reset button. Those are both very handy and you're going to need it. Now go up to Graphics and click it over to VR. Now these settings are only going to affect what you see in your headset. Running the simulator in VR is incredibly resource intensive, and I had to make a lot of sacrifices to the visual quality just so I could get a nice smooth frame rate, which is pretty important in VR. Alright, here we are sitting at the active runway of McCarran International in Las Vegas. So let's get this VR flight started by putting on our headset and launching Virtual Desktop. Now open up the menu and go over here and click Launch Steam VR. After a second or two, you'll have a screen that looks like this. Now we just need to push the Activate/Deactivate VR button that we set earlier. And bingo! Look at this, VR on the fly. Now sit normally, facing forward, and hit the Reset View button. Pow! This puts us in the cockpit, and now we're ready to fly. Since we're only going to be using the Quest 2 controllers, let's take a second and go over all the functions here. First of all, you can use the trigger button to grab the yoke and move it around, to press any buttons in the cockpit and things like that. They've also mapped a lot of the flight controls right to the controllers themselves. For instance, the left stick controls your roll and pitch, and the right stick controls your rudder. This button right here on your right controller brings up your hot menu at the top of the screen. That's pretty handy. It has all your ATC stuff and maps and all that good stuff. This button on the left controller will bring up your main menu. This button underneath it is a handy one that will also reset your view, just like the one we set earlier. And the grips on both controllers control the brakes. And there you go, we have all the basics. I think we can reasonably take a little flight around Las Vegas. Let's go. Parking brakes off. And throttle forward. I think I'm just going to use the little sticks to fly around, because grabbing that yoke and moving it in and out and steering it is pretty clunky. These sticks are kind of twitchy, but I think it'll work out pretty good. Let's see. And away we go. Pull back on that left stick nice and gently. Alright. Put these flaps away. So even in VR, the camera views work just like they would normally. You can pop yourself outside of the cockpit and have a look around. It's kind of neat. Alright, back in the cockpit. Alright, hitting the Vegas Strip, baby. Holy moly, that's a lot of trees, right? Something tells me in real life there's not that many trees in the Vegas Strip. Especially the ones right out in the middle of the road. Oh, look at that, an overgrown McDonald's. Funny. The buildings and everything are really impressive. There's a really nice look to it. Well, except for the overgrown trees all over the place and everything, this is pretty neat looking. I like that. And don't forget, this is a flight simulator. All this stuff is meant to be viewed from a distance. Yeah, this flight simulator always impresses me, where, I mean, they've rendered the entire world. The world's a big place, and you can go anywhere and check out any city you'd like. It's great. Flying around a densely packed city like this usually hits your system pretty hard, and this isn't too bad. This is workable. I can fly here. So yeah, I'd say flying around using nothing but the Oculus 2 controllers actually works pretty good. The sticks are a little twitchy just because they're little. It's hard to move them just a tiny bit. But yeah, it works. It's got everything you need. Well, okay, that was a fun visit to the Vegas Strip. Let's head back to McCarran International and let's see if we can put this bird down softly using these little tiny sticks. Give it some flaps here. Slow down just a little bit. We'll give it another notch of flaps here. Come on.
Steady.
Had a little bit of trouble grabbing that flaps lever. That wasn't fun. Alright, put her down nice and soft, baby. Come on. Alright. Woo! Alright, stomp on those brakes. Cut the throttle. And there you go, safely on the ground. Actually, I gotta say, that was kind of fun flying around using just the sticks on the Oculus controller. They would work in a pinch. I would still rather use my HOTAS. I have a lot more control over the deal. But this'll do. You can fly around and have yourself a good old time if you'd like. Alright guys, this was a lot of fun flying around Las Vegas. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.